My name is Rashel Jacobo, and I'm a third-year student here at Sac State. I'm a biochemistry major, and I do research under Dr. McReynolds. When I first started here at Sac State, I knew that I wanted to get involved in something here. So I started very early in my second year, basically going into my second year. I got involved in a program named CSU LCM, and it's for students that are interested in going to graduate school and pursuing a PhD in like the research field and specifically the scientific fields. And I joined the program. And when I joined the program, they match you up with a faculty mentor if you don't have one already. And based on my interest, because I want to pursue a PhD in something like immunology, she decided, and by she I mean Dr. McCarthy, the director of the program, paired me up with Dr. McReynolds, who was also working in immunology and HIV. And so that's how I ended up joining her lab and talking to Dr. McReynolds. She ended up putting me on this project. Our lab focuses on synthesizing glycopolymers and glycodendrimers, but my specific project focuses on glycopolymers, and we want to make these glycopolymers inhibitors for HIV infection. And we want to inhibit the binding step of the virus to your cells to prevent that infection from ever occurring. And the purpose of this is to be later on used as a topical microbicide, so something like a condom or lubricant that could later be used to prevent HIV infection, specifically sexually transmitted HIV. I've gained so many skills, both in-person lab skills, but also just learning how to be a communicator and a scientific communicator, and being able to just explain what research is to people that may not necessarily be in your field, or just people like my parents who don't really have a background in any of this, and being able to teach them things about research and what I'm doing and having them understand me. And I also learned a lot about responsibility and what actually being a researcher means. It's not just like being in the lab, it's about being able to analyze and being able to be a problem solver, and also the importance of being able to work with people and to admit like you're not going to know everything right off the bat, and you're going to need help in transitioning into something like very much not academic and more independent, running your own reactions and experiments. It's intimidating at times. And so having that guidance and being not afraid to say, you know what, I don't understand this and I want to learn how to do this. It's very important. It's something that I had to learn very early on. When I first started, I was very new. I had only taken one semester of general chemistry, and joining a biochemistry lab, I didn't know a lot of the techniques or really what was going on. And that was a challenge to be able to, first of all, admit, okay, I need help because I don't know how to do this. And not being afraid and learning that it's okay to ask for help. And when things go wrong in your experiments or your reactions and you don't know what's happening, to be able to talk it out and to learn the problem solving skills and not just get stuck in, oh, well, this isn't working. Well, finding out why it isn't working and fixing why that isn't working. That's been such an important challenge that I've been learning, and I'm still doing it as I go. Challenges are always arising. And then, of course, I had to deal with COVID being a big challenge. And when we couldn't go into the lab, learning that it's more than just being inside and doing bench work and doing experiments. It's about reading literature in your field. So that's what I did when we weren't allowed to be in the lab. I did a lot of literature searches, and I learned a lot about the aspect of writing and communication versus just doing experiments, because that's a big portion of it, sure, but also being able to communicate and read and be an active part of the research community is very important. And I feel like while COVID was a challenge, it taught me the different aspects of being a well-rounded researcher. I would say, first of all, decide what you are interested in, and then look at faculty or look at any sort of programs that Sac State offers that could be related to that, and just try to get involved. If you like a specific professor's research, reach out to them and talk to them about it and see if they're willing to accept you, or look at a program that you want for your career. For example, for me, I knew I wanted to go to graduate school, so I looked for programs that were related to that. And it's a lot of fear that you have to overcome of like, oh, well, I don't know if I'm ready, or like, I don't know if I have all the requirements to be part of this. But you don't get anything done if you don't take that first step and you don't just learn. And Sac State honestly has a surprising amount of programs on campus to help you get involved and to help you reach your goals that I, coming into this as a first year student, had no idea about, but I ended up finding out. So I would just say get involved and see what there is to offer for what you specifically want to do.